Today, we're diving deep into the wisdom of a fantastic book called The Practicing Mind by Thomas M. Sterner. This book shows us how to shift our focus from chasing a far-off end goal to truly loving the process itself. As you watch this video, picture yourself stepping into a new way of living, one where every moment is an opportunity for growth, and every small effort leads to lasting change. The very first key teaching in The Practicing Mind is to shift your focus from the product to the process. Sterner tells us that success is not just about the final outcome. Instead of fixating on the end goal, you must learn to enjoy every step you take. Think back to learning a new skill, maybe playing the guitar or mastering a new recipe. In those early days, every practice session was full of small wins and little lessons, even if the end result was far from perfect. When you learn to embrace the process, you find that progress happens naturally. The key takeaway here is that true mastery comes from loving every moment of the journey rather than obsessing over the final destination. The second teaching is to be fully present in every action. Sterner explains that practice requires both awareness and will. When you perform a task, your mind must be completely engaged in that very moment. Imagine driving on an empty road where you feel every twist and turn. That is the essence of being present. Your thoughts are not wandering to past mistakes or future worries. They are solely focused on what you are doing right now. In a nutshell, by living in the moment, you harness the power of focus and clarity, and you allow your natural abilities to shine. The third teaching is the DOC method, which stands for Do, Observe, Correct. This method is a simple routine that helps you improve step by step. First, you do the task at hand with genuine effort. Then, you take a pause to observe your actions. Notice if your mind begins to wander or if any tension creeps in. Finally, you gently correct your approach based on what you observed. This cycle repeats over and over, building a steady rhythm in your work. The beauty of DOC is that it does not demand perfection. It asks for honest self-assessment and small adjustments along the way. So, the key takeaway is that small, deliberate changes can lead to big improvements over time. The fourth teaching is to focus on the process rather than the product. In our everyday lives, we often measure success by the final result, a grade, a score, or a profit. Sterner challenges this by showing that an obsession with the outcome can drain your energy and cloud your mind. When your attention is fixated on a distant target, you lose the joy of the present moment. Picture a runner who is constantly glancing at the finish line instead of enjoying each stride. By shifting your attention to the process itself, you remove the pressure and discover that progress unfolds naturally. The key takeaway here is simple. Let go of the need for instant results and learn to appreciate every step of the journey. The fifth teaching is to let go of harsh judgments about your progress. Our inner dialogue can be our harshest critic. We often compare our current self to an idealized version and end up feeling inadequate. Sterner advises that you observe your thoughts and actions without labeling them as good or bad. Imagine yourself as a neutral observer, watching your actions with curiosity instead of criticism. This non-judgmental approach frees your mind and makes it easier to learn from every experience. In a nutshell, the key is to replace self-criticism with gentle observation, which builds confidence and fuels further progress. The sixth teaching is the concept of the 4S words: simplify, small, short, and slow. These simple words remind you that any big task can be broken down into manageable parts. Think of it as cooking a meal. You don't try to prepare a whole feast at once. Instead, you chop the vegetables, boil the pasta, and prepare the sauce separately. By simplifying your task, breaking it into small sections, giving yourself a short period of dedicated focus, and working slowly enough to notice every detail, you form a habit of deliberate practice. The key takeaway is that by taking one small step at a time, even the most daunting challenge becomes conquerable. The seventh teaching is about cultivating equanimity, a calm, balanced mind that remains steady no matter what life throws at you. Stirner explains that true peace comes from releasing the constant need for external validation and the pressure to achieve perfection. Picture a calm lake that remains undisturbed even when the wind blows. That is the state of equanimity. You remain centered, undisturbed by ups and downs, and fully capable of responding with clarity. The key takeaway here is that when you cultivate a calm and even mind, you can face any challenge with grace and resilience. The eighth teaching is that habits are formed through consistent, mindful practice. Stirner reminds us that what we do repeatedly becomes a part of who we are. Think of it like brushing your teeth every day. It might seem small, but over time it builds a healthy habit that defines your routine. Every time you practice being present, every moment of deliberate action, you reinforce the habits that shape your life. In a nutshell, the message is that consistent, mindful practice leads to lasting change, and every small effort contributes to your overall growth. The ninth teaching is about self-discipline. Stirner explains that self-discipline is not about harsh restrictions or strict self-control. It is about directing your energy toward what truly matters. When you have a practicing mind, you learn to prioritize the process and focus on what you can do right now. Imagine a gardener who cares for each plant every day rather than obsessing over the final harvest. This daily commitment is what builds a strong foundation. The key takeaway is that self-discipline is about staying true to your process, even when the end result is not immediately visible. The 10th teaching is about detachment from the end goal. While having a clear destination is important, you must not let the thought of that destination consume you. Stirner teaches that you should use your goal as a guiding star, a gentle reminder of where you want to go, but not as the sole focus of your attention. Picture yourself on a long journey where you occasionally glance at a distant mountain peak for direction, but you remain absorbed in the scenery around you. The key takeaway here is that detaching from the outcome frees you to live fully in the present and makes the journey itself rewarding. The 11th teaching is to develop an observer mindset. This means watching your actions and thoughts with clarity and without getting swept away by them. When you become an observer of yourself, you gain insight into your habits and can make adjustments in real time. Imagine watching a movie of your own life where you step back and see the bigger picture. This objectivity helps you make better choices and learn from every moment. The key takeaway is that the observer mindset empowers you to control your actions and shape your progress with clear, deliberate intent. The 12th teaching is about embracing non-judgment. Our inner critic can often be a barrier to growth. Stirner shows us that by setting aside judgments, you create space for creativity and learning. Think of a painter who experiments freely with colors without fearing mistakes. This freedom opens up new possibilities and fosters genuine self-expression. The key takeaway here is that when you let go of judgment, you allow yourself to explore and grow without the burden of self-criticism. The 13th teaching is that progress is built drop by drop, moment by moment. There is no magic moment when everything suddenly falls into place. Instead, every small, deliberate action adds up over time. Imagine filling a jar with water, one drop at a time. Each drop might seem insignificant, but eventually, the jar overflows. In the same way, every little step you take in your practice contributes to your overall growth. The key takeaway is that consistency, even in the smallest actions, leads to big, lasting progress. As you absorb these teachings, remember that the journey to mastery is not a race. It is a series of small, deliberate steps. There will be moments of frustration and doubt, but each moment is a chance to practice self-compassion and learn something new. When you find your mind wandering, when you feel the weight of self-judgment creeping in, pause and return to the present moment. Remind yourself that every effort, no matter how small, counts. The key takeaway is that true progress is a slow and steady accumulation of mindful practice. In summary, the practicing mind teaches us that the secret to a fulfilling life lies in loving the process. Instead of being trapped by an obsession with the end result, you learn to cherish every moment of your journey. You develop a DOC routine, do, observe, correct, that keeps you on track without harsh self-judgment. You learn to break down complex tasks using the 4S words: simplify, small, short, and slow. You cultivate equanimity, building a calm and balanced mind that can weather any storm. You form strong, lasting habits through consistent, deliberate practice. And most importantly, you learn to be kind to yourself, viewing every mistake as a stepping stone to improvement. In a world that prizes instant gratification and quick fixes, the practicing mind offers a refreshing alternative. It teaches us that true success comes from slow, steady, and mindful effort. Rather than chasing a distant goal, you learn to savor every step along the way. You learn to see each moment as an opportunity to grow and to build a life of lasting fulfillment. The key takeaway is that when you learn to love the process, you unlock the true power of your potential. As we come to the end of this video, I want to leave you with a final thought. Imagine a life where every moment is filled with purpose and every task, no matter how small, is an opportunity to improve. Picture yourself moving through your day with clarity, focus, and a deep sense of calm. This is the promise of a practicing mind, a promise that you have the power to change your life one mindful moment at a time. If you found this video helpful, please like it, subscribe for more insights on transforming your mindset, and share it with someone who might benefit from these teachings. Remember, every small effort counts, and every moment is a chance to practice and grow. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to reading your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Embrace the journey, love the process, and let your practicing mind set you free.